everybody, it's me, Lisa Concepcion with LoveQuestCoaching.com, and today I am bringing you some information about pacing the relationship in the first year so that it is built on a solid foundation of loyalty, trust, and all the good stuff that you need a solid relationship to have. So we're going to get into some of that stuff right now. And I'm going to, hey Tracy, hi. I'm going to begin with a really cool tool that I use with my clients. It's something that you guys can do on your own. And it's basically scheduling out your whole first year. And there's a part of this that's really, really super important. So I'm going to set my quarantine cocktail over here. And I'm going to grab my little board, my trusty dry erase board. It might appear backwards. I don't know if it is, but whatever. You'll get the gist as I go. So this basically breaks down the whole first year of a relationship. You got month 0 to 3, 3 to 6, month 6 to 9, 9 to 1 year. And in every 3-month increment, there are certain things that you need to know about people, that you get to find out about people. And if you do stuff that you should be doing here and you do it here, you mess it all up. People do this all the time. All the time. So one of the more common things that I find people coming to me with is saying that they rushed the relationship too soon. Meaning, I have had people come to me saying that they were in the 0 to 3 month time frame, and they moved in. They moved in. This is monster huge red flag. Like, I don't care what world you're living in. It is rare. It is rare, rare, rare to meet somebody, build up enough rapport, build up enough trust, enough knowledge of who they are and what they're about, to go from nothing to 3 months, moved in, full on living together. So the thing is, there are certain things that can happen in these times to then build. So as you do this and you get these things sorted out in your first 3 months, you then advance to 3 to 6 months. And there's a whole other set of things that you do here. And then a whole other set of things that you do from 6 to 9 months. And then finally, when you get from 9 months to a year, there are a whole other conversations that can happen then. So what I encourage you guys and girls to do is enjoy every phase. Why are you rushing this? There's so many good, fun things that can happen in each one of these stages of the relationship. So I'm going to throw it out to you guys, okay? Some of the things that I find in my coaching practice with people is that they're not really sure what fits into here and here and here and here. They don't even know. So we have a bunch of people kind of out there dating without any kind of clarity whatsoever about what they want for their own life, regardless of who they're in this life with. Doesn't matter if you're single or with somebody. I'm talking, what do you want for you? Because what you want for you determines all the stuff that you want to find out in the first 3 months. Because when you know that you want to, I don't know, start a business, travel somewhere, save a bunch of money, perhaps you want to, I don't know, like you have parents that you need to take care of. Whatever your deal is, like what you're going for in life, it is going to impact the first 3 months. It's a critical time of a relationship. And far too many people are rushing what goes on in the first 3 months. So certain things that I encourage my clients to do is start off with a clean sheet of paper and at the top write, what do I want? And just brainstorm, just let it flow. Write down all the things that you want to accomplish for you. And then once you have that, you're able to then figure out, okay, given all of these things that I want to accomplish for me, what kind of person would be the best person for me, given that I'm doing all of these things? I'm doing all of these things. And that means that this is going to take time, this is going to take resources, money, whatever, right? So you need to do the reverse engineering and say, if I'm doing these things with my own life, then I need a person in my life, or I would better said, want a person that has these kinds of qualities and these kinds of characteristics, because that would be a good fit for me. So let's go back to this little chart, okay? First 3 months of a relationship. What goes in this bucket? Well, what do you need to know about the person before you invite them into your home? What do you need to know about the person before you decide to have sex with them? Let's say in the first 3 months, month 2, month 3, you might want to take a weekend jaunt together. What do you need to know before you go away with somebody for 3 days, 4 days? So there are a lot of things that can go in here. You guys can brainstorm them. You can fill them out if you want. Comment below with what you think are key important things to know in the first 3 months. This is really deal breaker territory also, right? When you have your deal breakers, that's another important thing. You know what your deal breakers are. First 3 months, that's where it is. That's where those red flags come. And honey, when you see a red flag, you gotta do something about it. You can't just stick around thinking, okay, well, here's the red flag, but if I ignore it, then what happens? It only gets bigger from month 3 to 6. It only gets bigger from 6 to 9. What you let slide and the bullshit you tolerate in 0 to 3, honey, it's gonna multiply. And what happens? The shit you let slide here is 10 times worse here, because now you have history. Now it's hard to walk away. Now it's like, oh, but I saw all these great qualities, and these deal breaker is deal breaker. And so many people see red flags right here in the red flag zone, and they don't pay attention to red flags. And then they see themselves here, and they're wasting their time trying to change someone that showed them exactly who they were from the beginning. How many people have this, right? Comment below. Yes, I tried to change people. Did you learn a lesson? Comment below. I learned a lesson. I learned my lesson. Or if you didn't, and you're still searching videos on YouTube or Facebook to try to learn this stuff, like, what key things do I need to understand and find out about this other person in the first 3 months? This is a critical time. This is the foundation for the whole relationship. What happens here? These first 3 to 6 months, this is the bullseye of foundation. How you start off tells you what you get here, and beyond. And there's nothing wrong with taking time to get to know somebody. Before you start doing the things that happen here. I know people, they are letting people into their houses way too soon. There's an analogy that I use for this. I used it with a client earlier, and I use it all the time in my coaching practice. I say, do you have a really high-end exclusive restaurant in your town, in your community? It could be like a fancy hotel restaurant, whatever. And what happens at these places? Well, usually there's a dress code. What else? You need to make reservations. You don't just walk in. In some cases, you might even need to know somebody to get reservations. Point is, that restaurant has standards, right? You don't just walk in. What do you call a restaurant that you can just walk into and order whatever the hell you want, dress the way you want, do whatever you want? It's called Taco Bell. So what you need to ask yourself is, are you looking for a Taco Bell relationship, or are you looking for the real deal, right? Like the napkin on the table, whole deal. Edward Kenneth asks, how do you make the honeymoon phase last forever instead of getting old after a while? Okay, this is a common thing that's asked by guys. Women kind of, but men, this is a big deal with men, and it usually has to do with sex. So what happens is you meet somebody, you go through these first 3 months, and when you realize it's time to have sex, the sex is amazing. Like it's new sex. It's like opening up the bag of potato chips, right? So like all the potato chips at the top are perfectly crunchy, they're big, they're salty, amazing. And then somewhere around like 3/4 to the end of the bag of potato chips, they're all crummy. They're sticking to your fingers. You're like licking your fingers. They're not as good. You can't even put them in the dip anymore. I get it, right? Analogy. So what do you do to keep those potato chips? The point of the whole story is, honey, you got to finish the bag and you got to open up a new bag. You got to keep things fresh and exciting. Fresh and exciting is the key to keeping not so much a honeymoon phase, because it's impossible, right? Like, such a good question, Kenneth. Thank you for asking it. When this is honeymoon phase, this is like the get to know you phase. This is really the honeymoon phase. Like, this is the, I have deal breakers. I'm trying to see if I like you enough. I kind of like you, but I might be dating other people. I'm unsure. And there's a whole lot of ambiguity. Doesn't need to happen here. Does not, if you know what you're doing, right? Which this is what I help people do. That tiptoe eggshell bullshit that happens here doesn't need to happen. And so what can happen, if you work this first 3 months the right way, you could have this like amazing courtship. I mean, like this is the early buds of like, ooh, I think I'm like really into this person. I really like this person. I don't think I want to see anybody else. This is what happens in here. I definitely don't want to see anybody else. I only want to see this one person. Like we had sex. The sex is amazing. We have such good chemistry and like we get along and it's awesome. That's all this, right? Then honeymoon, right here. You're like 3 to 6 months. Oh my God. Now it's let's go on vacation. Like I'm in love with you. I want you to meet my family. My cousin's getting married in California. You're my date. Let's do this. Let's hang in Cali. Let's drive up the Pacific Coast Highway. Let's make it a vacay. Like that's the kind of thing you're having in the 3 to 6, even 6 to 9. If you really know how to like extend it. And this is the stuff I teach people, because a lot of people, they get all into it too soon. They start behaving like they're married and they're not married. They start, not to say like you have, like marriage kills the vibe. It doesn't. It just changes. And change in a relationship is inevitable, right? Like you're not going to hang with each other at 9 months to a year the same way as you were at 0 to 3 months. You're just not. You already know so much. You've had all this time, all this experience with one another. So you're going to be different and you should be different. But that does not mean that you're not still dating one another. You're not still going out to dinners, hanging out, having a good time, planning vacations. It's just a matter of knowing what happens here. Take a little bit of it and bring it to here and bring it to here and bring it to here. And I'll add, the more you get to know one another, the better the sex can get because there's more trust. And that's where, communication is key. So if you start off here and your communication is awesome and like you're definitely free sexually and you can like talk about what you like and that continues into here, then shit gets even better. And then here, and then like, wow, by here, you're like, this is my girl. We're all about the tantra. Like we get into it. Like it's awesome. And it's important to really expand your minds. Go to workshops, go to seminars, hire coaches. Everything that happens, if you work on yourselves as individuals and then bring that to the relationship, oh my God, it will keep the excitement going so much more because you're not stagnant. You're not just like not working on yourself, sitting around watching Netflix and doing absolutely nothing with yourself. It's exciting when you grow as individuals, but together in a couplehood and you're like going for stuff. I mean, I'll use my own relationship as an example. So when I met Mr. S, I was working partly as a public relations strategist, and this was in 2016. And I was also building my life coaching business. So I was kind of like, I'm like juggling both. I'm like, and I'm trying to learn this coaching thing and being an entrepreneur and a self-employed person. And then like the PR thing, I was like, okay, I'm doing this still. So he met me in that, right? So my first like year with him was all about this life of I'm building this business. I'm a crazy entrepreneur. Like, I have this vision in my life and I want to do this and this and this. So remember in the beginning when I said how important it is to have a clear vision for your life? I had that. So when I met him, there were a bunch of things that I had to ask and I had to get clarity on so that I knew that he can be here, 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 and here. So there were just certain things that I had to, in time, get to know about him. And then as I went through these months, different things started to happen. So I wasn't going to just like, boom, meet him here and be like, hey, we should move in. Never in a million years would I be that, right? It's just too quick, too much to take on. There's money stuff going on. I wasn't stable and secure in my passion business of coaching, which now I am. And that was, again, back in 2016. Now it's 2020. Like, I have my full-time coaching practice. I already sorted out my stuff. Could you imagine if he and I were like, oh yeah, let's move in the first 3 months? He like knew nothing about me. And then I have this business and I'm stressed out and all these times where I'm like trying to build this thing and things happen. Like, he would have had to have taken on all that stress that I would be under. Doesn't want to do it. And I don't blame him, right? So think about your life. Think about what you want in your life. And then there are other little things. Like, a lot of people that I coach, they're usually between the ages of 35 and 55. And they do very well for themselves professionally. So there are a lot of like job related things that they need to understand about the other person and how that even reflects on them and their own careers and their own job stuff. So this is, again, all the stuff that you need to figure out in this first 3 to 6 months. And then when you realize like, this person is my person, like legit, we can build something amazing. That's when you get into this area. And for me, when I knew that Mr. S was somebody that I can legit be with long term, that's when, month 6 to 9, I was kind of still like apprehensive because this was the first legit real relationship since my divorce, since my relationship with my ex-husband, which was 24 years, married for 17. So my family, they only knew him. So now here I am, month 6 to 9, and Mr. S is like, oh, I'm going to go to a gala in New York and I want you to come with me. It's for work. It's a Christmas party thing. And I was like, oh, that would be awesome. And then he's like, oh, well, while we're there, I can meet your parents. And I was like, I had to evaluate in this where I was on that. Because I got scared. I was like, oh my God, like I haven't introduced somebody to my family since I was like 20. Really, think about it. And I was 45. So 45 from 20, right? So I had to consider my family. I had to consider, is this a person at 6 to 9 months that I do want my parents to know and that it is a big deal. It's a very big deal. So, again, a lot of rushing going on where you get people that are like trying to accelerate this amazing first full year of courtship. First full year of courtship. I mean, Mr. S and I, like, in here, I think we were together like 2 months. He had like a business conference and he asked me to go. And it was for like, I think it was for 3 days or 4 days. Like, that was a big deal. It should be a big deal. It's the first time I'm spending a lot of time in a row with the person that I'm with. So these are the things that go through my head. I'm like, I have to make arrangements for now my dog to be looked after while I go away with this person. Like, is this somebody who has shown me in the first 2 months, 3 months that he can be trusted and he is somebody who I can go away with, for a short weekend? Am I ready to go out of the country and like whirlwind vacate? No, I don't know you well enough. I do not know you well enough, right? So these are the things. How well do you know this person in the first three months? Like, you don't know enough about them. I'm like, listen, I'm not leaving country till we get to here. I'm happy to do a few little weekend jaunts where I have accountability and I'm like, selfie, I'm staying at the da-da-da hotel, and you check in and people know where you are. Come on, you don't know people yet, right? And then all of a sudden you're just going to be like, peace out, I'm out of the country, and you're Your family hasn't even met this person yet. You know, everything needs to be in a good, solid pace. Pacing is everything. Everything. It's the difference between like a Taco Bell relationship and 5-star amazing relationship at the chef's table. One is basic. You can just go, get in, get out, literally. The other one is planning. It's commitment. It's a sense of outcome. You want to know, like, okay, think about it. When you go to a basic bullshit restaurant, it's an afterthought. It's like, you know, I'm in a tank top and flip-flops and I'm like hungry. I need a bite. All right. You don't even think. You're like, all right, what am I in the mood for? A salad. Great. You go to the salad place, 10 minutes later, you're out. There's no real thought. There's no real commitment. There's no real anything. It's just basic, right? So don't date basic when you're looking for the one, right? So the other way of dating then becomes dating as if you're going to a 5-star restaurant that it took 6 months to get reservations for. Oh, honey, you're picking out the outfit, the shoes, the if you're a guy watching, you're going to get yourself a nice jacket. You're going to make it happen. Make it special. Make it count. That's the difference. So there are plenty of people out there who are plenty fine with dating for Taco Bell style dating. Easy. Right? Maybe you're getting over, you know, a breakup and it's the first time you've done your healing. And maybe you're like, okay, I've been single for a little bit of time. I just want to date kind of casually just to get the feel of it again. Fine. Taco Bell dating. You can go out with a bunch of people, see how it is. After a month of that, honey, if you're over 35 years old and you're still dating Taco Bell, no, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. And it means that you probably aren't really clear on what it is you want. When you're of a certain age and you have clarity in your life, you are not going to dabble and waste your time. When you have this type of outlook, this type of thing, it's, again, what do I need to see in this person from month 0 to 3 to then justify going into month 3 to 6? And all of the things, you can make a list on your own. This is the stuff I dig into with my clients so that they have some kind of boundary, some kind of clarity about how to handle themselves when they are dating, so that they don't come across like a Taco Bell date when really they are that 5-star exclusive restaurant. They're looking for that real deal commitment. And a lot of people, they break character, they break the pattern. They're like, oh, I really want something serious, but their behavior is not of someone serious. Their behavior is still getting too drunk on dates, party girl attitude, inviting them over too soon, letting them determine when they come into your home. No. And this goes for men and women both. Men and women both. Because, listen, I have heard it from guys. Oh, it was rushed. How do you mean it was rushed? Well, you know, I got with this girl and within a month we were already on a vacation. What are you doing, bro? Why do you think she's after you for your money? You led with your money. You didn't hang out here. I'm going to do this for the men, right? The men I coach, they do very well for themselves. And they want to know, why is it that I always get gold diggers? How do I not get gold diggers? All women want is money. Honey, what you need to do is you need to learn pacing. You need to pace yourself with the money. I know you have a nice car and a beautiful condo and all the amenities and all of it. You can move her in tomorrow. But there are things that you want to see about this girl before you quick jump the gun. No shopping sprees, none of this thing. You want to get her a nice, thoughtful gift right in here. Something thoughtful. Keep it under $100. Under $100, get creative and get sweet. Little trinket, little things that you make her want more. And honey, you can get beautiful, luxurious things for under $100. Absolutely. 100%. These are the things I help people with, right? Over here. And actually, in the first 3 to 6 months, really what gets you good graces with women is listening. It's listening to her when she says, oh, when I was a kid, my favorite candy was Starbursts. I loved them. I used to divide them with my sister and we would divvy up the flavors and we'd always fight over the strawberry. Okay, so you hear this and now the next time you pick her up for a date, if her love language is gifts, and she appreciates gifts, right? And that's the other thing, love language. You want to get to know what is your love language in those first months so that you can give love the way this person wants to receive love. This is the key. And a lot of people jump the gun. They end up buying girls $200 of perfume and this and shoes and Louboutins and all this crap. Honey, that's here. That's here. That's first holiday together. First holiday together, then spoil each other, have at it, have fun. But leading up, I'm sure you'll have little vacations, little weekend jaunts, little things here. Be mindful. Be very mindful. Everything has a phase, and you grow together up each phase. And that is how you keep that honeymoon going. You just make courtship instead of this like 2-week thing where all of a sudden it's 2 weeks, you have all the sex, and then all of a sudden you're cooking for each other and staying in and watching Netflix. Like, no. It should be a little of that, but mostly the bigger thing. Where are we going? What are we doing? I like you too. I want you to meet my family. I want you to meet my family. How cool. You see what I mean? It's a lot to do, and you have a whole year. Spread it out, buttercups. No need to rush. Understand pacing of a relationship. Setting the pace is the best. It is not a race. Set the pace. Remember, it is not a race. Set the pace. I hope this helped you out. I'm Lisa Concepcion. You can hook yourself up with a free life assessment, at lovequestcoaching.com. It's free, it's fun. You get to ask all your personal questions, all the things that kind of have you tripped up, and then I come to you with specific answers that will help you. All right, my loves, until tomorrow, much love. Bye.